sheep before they make a peep. They night the banks and ain't no money. Call it fucking blight. I'm growing bright. Stardom of a kingdom to reap them of they rose. Kill, steal, and steal her margin. I ain't real my woes.
We're live right now behind the scene. We're your hosts, Uncle Jack 328 at Uncle Jack 328 on Twitter. First name Colby, last name Jackson, real name. I got my cousin, special guest on this episode, Majin M. Go ahead and plug some of what you got going on right now, cuz.
What up? You know what I'm saying? Appreciate to be here on behind the scene. All right, so it's Majin. You want to follow me on Instagram is for Majin20, but I am an accountant, first off. Always got to get you money, right? An entertainer, an artist, and then also a Twitcher.
My name is Deon Donovan. I'm a creator of the Tales of Florida comic book series, the Title Page Comics. And guys, welcome to the show. Majin, it's good to have you on here, man. We were just talking about the 20th anniversary of PlayStation 2. I heard you're a hardcore gamer, man. And yesterday we had a pretty in-depth recording, man, of our top 10 games or whatever. So I wanted to hear your opinion, man. What is your top 10 PlayStation 2 games of all time, or even your top list, man? What's your favorite titles?
Okay. So, like, definitely, man, I agree because, like, PlayStation all the way, PlayStation first. So, for my top 10, they're not really in order. Just these top 10 would be Def Jam Fight for New York. All right. All right. You know what I'm saying?
Hell yeah.
Just a great fighting game. You know what I'm saying? Many memories. And then 2 would be Dragon Ball Z, the Budokai series. But
oh, thank God you said Budokai, not Tenkaichi. Tenkaichi or Budokai, man? Which one?
Budokai, bro. You know what I'm saying?
Budokai, yes,
honestly,
yes.
bro, Budokai 3 was the one.
Dude, that roster was fucking killer, man.
Bruh, that was it. So and then also to keep the fighting games going, next would be Tekken. I mean the whole series, you feel me?
Yeah, we got into that a little bit. Yeah.
Okay, all right. So after that, we'll move on to Max Payne.
Yeah, we on point. Yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
On point. Yeah,
That-
we definitely on point. Let's go.
That changed the world, feel me? Then Grand Theft Auto, just all of them, but on the PlayStation 2, I would have to say San Andreas takes the cake.
That's what's up, man.
After that, we'll get into SSX Tricky. That's a classic.
Yeah,
see,
man.
Yeah. Keep going, man.
Keep cooking, man.
We
on the same
page
here.
After that, we can get in. So for the sports, I ain't really play a lot of sports games, but they always are around. So I'm not gonna say the main ones, but the street ball series for football and basketball.
Okay. Yeah. NBA Street, NFL Street.
Yeah, that was nice. That was nice. Cutaway. And then after that, God of War.
Mm-hmm.
Then
one or two.
God of War. God of War 2.
You going 2 over 1?
Yeah, I'm gonna have to go with 2 over 1.
Okay.
Fair enough, man. Dudes, both stellar ass games, man.
After that, I'm gonna say, you know what I'm saying, you gotta follow up with Midnight Club for the racing game.
Shit.
Oh
Okay.
man, which one? 2 or Dub Edition?
Oh, Dub Edition, baby, Dub Edition. Yeah, that was
Yeah, I'm gonna need you to go more in depth on Dub Edition here in a minute, because that was one that we both kind of skipped over yesterday, man. I forgot about Midnight Club. Rockstar did their thing with that.
Yeah, they came through on that. And then to top it off, you got to end it with, you know what I'm saying, the big boss, you know what I'm saying, Metal Gear. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna say Metal Gear 3 because like they got it perfect. Like right there, that's when they had the formula perfect, but the whole series.
See, yeah, we on the same page, man.
Yep, and that's the top 10 right there.
So man, the fact you did that shit on the fly, man, is super. I took a whole day for my top 10, man. Like, man.
Yeah.
I've been thinking on this for a minute, but quick little side note, as you know what I'm saying, Kobe said, I had like 302 games, bro, when I traded in up to the PlayStation 3. Like this, you know what I'm saying? Remember, there was no downloadable then. Like we had the collection. Let's see on the collection. I mean, we had all the consoles, but we had 3 PlayStation 3s, 300 games. We had like I think 10 memory cards and 10 controllers. 4 of them were special because everybody had to have their own. Like this was a lifestyle. You feel me?
Everyone had their own color controller too, right? Or some kind of
Yes.
sticker on it, or some kind of decal.
Yep, had the decal. Somebody had the certain color, or they had the certain color memory card. Like, yeah, it was deep. It was deep at the house.
Midnight Club series, especially Dub Edition, man. What made that racing game so special and above the rest, man, when it comes to that genre?
So Midnight Club for me, I would have to say it was mainly the locations. You know what I'm saying? Those are like places that were real and that we all felt. You know what I'm saying? Felt connected to. Like in a young age, like I had definitely been to Detroit because well, I'm from Michigan. I had been to Atlanta. You know what I'm saying? Like they had places that we were comfortable with. But besides that, they really had the mechanics right, and they had the mechanics right for every whip. You know what I'm saying?
Mm.
Like every whip, you felt like you actually was driving it.
Right, right.
Damn, dude.
The Monte Carlo didn't drive the same as the Spider.
And then even, you know what I'm saying, even if you did like kept your starter vehicle and you know what I'm saying, hooked it all the way up at the end, you might be able to mess with the top dogs, but like your car still drove like it was supposed to drive, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Right,
man.
right.
And then the last thing would be like the audio, just because like the soundtrack was just dope.
Can't be
So,
replicated now, man.
so my next question for you then is like, so you would say Midnight Club series, you got that over Gran Turismo.
Ooh, ooh,
Oh,
you
man.
know, I was hoping you was gonna put it up against Need for Speed because that would have been an easy yes. But up against Gran Turismo, see, okay, Gran Turismo was an actual like racing game. You know what I mean?
Simulator, a racing simulator.
Yeah. So, oh, yeah, I'm still have to go with Midnight Club.
What about Need for Speed, Underground 1, 2, Most Wanted, Hard
Oh,
Pursuit? How about this? Is there any other? What's your number two? We know Midnight Club is your number one racing game series on PlayStation 2. We still have titles like Burnout 3. We still got titles like Gran Turismo 3 and 4. You know, we still have the Need for Speed Underground series. What do you think was like the number two that came underneath Midnight Club for racing, man?
So number two, I I honestly would probably have to say Gran Turismo just because you actually had to race. I felt like in Need for Speed Underground, it was a great game. That was probably the dopest Need for Speed we ever got. You know what I'm saying? Hint, hint. They should make another one like that. Uh, but Gran Turismo was like you actually had to race. You know what I'm saying? Like you couldn't just be like, all right, yeah, I'm just gonna get the fastest car and be like, nah. You actually got to know what you're doing. You couldn't just be like a car enthusiast and not know what you were driving.
Dog, I sucked balls in that freaking game, man. I could not, I could never win any of those races, man. My startup Volkswagen or, you know what I mean, those starter cars, man. But Need for Speed, I can pick that up and you know, Underground 1 and 2, I can pick that up and beat a couple stages. But nah, and Gran Turismo was that shit was technical, like you said, technical as hell, dude, as a simulator.
right.
Right?
So
Yeah, down to everything.
the other kind of convo I specifically wanted to get into with you as it relates to the kind of the catalog for PlayStation 2 is the platformers, man, the Jack and Daxters, the Ratchet and Clanks, the Sly Coopers. I know that those were on heavy rotation in the catalog, man. I just want to get your input on how you on some of them titles for the
Okay.
PS2.
I mean, all right. So the number one platformer, all right, for me, straight up, Ratchet and Clank.
Mm.
You know what
Ooh.
I'm saying? They were dope. That was a different dynamic duo. Like I love Jack and Dexter, but I felt like they didn't give me enough content because I'm still waiting for another Jack and Dexter.
I
True,
don't think you're
fair
gonna get
enough,
it
fair
either.
enough.
I don't know. I think we might get it on the precipice of everything that's going on, all these remakes, and you know what I'm saying, the next generation. We did get a new Spyro, and we did get a new Bandicoot. Bandicoot was good too, but he wasn't really on the PlayStation. You know what I'm saying? That was like PlayStation 1.
Right.
But I give it to Ratchet and Clank, and Jack and Dexter after that, and then the third would probably be Sly Cooper.
All
So
right.
the next kind of okay, because when we talked about it yesterday, the thing that Deon kind of pointed out to me is that those games were in competition with your Super Mario Sunshines that were on GameCube. They were in competition with your Luigi's Mansions and those type of games there. How do you feel that the Ratchet and Clanks, the Jack and Daxters, the Sly Coopers, how did they match up with what Nintendo was doing with Super Mario during that console era?
Oh man, you put me on the spot just because the GameCube was a great Nintendo system as well. My peeps is Ratchet and Clank forever, but I mean honestly, I'm gonna have to say if I had to pick out of the games that I go back to, it would be probably Luigi's Mansion.
Oh man, dude, classic, dude. I wanted a freaking GameCube just to get Luigi's Mansion, and when I finally did, that was the first game I got in there, man. Like Luigi's Mansion, definitely one of those better platformer fun titles on that era, man.
Man, that game right there, I think I replayed that like 6 times, man. Like
Yeah.
that was a good game.
You know, we're talking about this PS2 era and a time when Crash Bandicoot went multi-platform.
Mm.
In a time when
Ooh.
Sega waved the white flag and Sonic was now on all
Oh
platforms.
my God.
Right? In a time where basically it was almost a passing of the torch when it came to Jack and Daxter, Ratchet and Clank, and Sly Cooper. Because on PlayStation 1, you had Croc, you had Spyro, you had you
Ooh.
had Rayman. You know what I'm saying? And Pac-Man failed to convert into 3D platforming at this time. And so I wanted to know, man, did you have any honorable mentions to platformers on this PS2 era? Because to be honest with you, platforming games haven't been the same since this era of gaming. They have become less and less relevant as these next gen consoles keep continuing. So I wanted to know, did you had any other platforming honorable mentions besides those big three from Sony?
Yo, I definitely got a couple. I don't know if you remember Colonia, Clononia.
Clone, I think. Clone 2 with the
Yes.
raccoon, right? The black and
Yeah,
white
the
raccoon with the blue
ears.
hat.
Yeah. That one, that was a good one. That's a definite honorable one right there. Even Ty the Tasmanian Tiger.
Oh shit, dude.
You know what I'm
Oh
saying?
man,
Yeah,
keep
take us
cooking.
back. Talk, you remember Talk, the Great Juju?
Oh,
Didn't he had a
Yeah,
Nickelodeon series? I remember that dude.
I think so.
The
I think
Tarzan
so.
boy.
Yeah, he was like yeah, Tarzan, Little in the Jungle. Shit. What was another one?
wait,
With
did Gex have a PS2 game? Was there any
Oh
Gex
god, dude.
on
Gex?
PS2?
Gax.
Oh, let me see.
Uh, I'm gonna look that up.
I don't know if Gex was ever on PS2, but
I
I think he was
I
just PS1.
Gex was a PS1 like homeboy, man.
yeah, man.
Yeah, no, he was just on PS1.
Nah, he didn't make it. He didn't make the cut,
So
man.
so getting away from the platformers, any other honorable mentions that you have for the PS2 before we kind of segue away from the actual gaming titles?
Okay, so one would be one honorable mention would be Kingdom Hearts, just because that changed the whole game with like that whole culture.
Talk about it. Talk about it. Get into that because we
So
we got into that too. But my experience with Kingdom Hearts was watching you play it.
oh yeah, you're right, you're right. So all right, so like Kingdom Hearts, like that game, man, it just changed everything because it brought like it let the world know that the nerds are like real. That like the other video games we were playing with all the Square Enix, all the role playing characters, like people were paying attention that Disney wanted to put it in there. And then when it finally like came out and we started going to different worlds and they started showing like all the different planets and the different storylines, like man, that was actually like it wasn't just a game, it was like a book to us at that time.
Mm.
Damn, man. Yeah, you're right. You're right.
Yeah, that was a damn good game right there. Damn good game. Now the third one, don't get me started on the third one. I think they dropped the ball, but Kingdom Hearts 1 and Kingdom Hearts 2, great.
Which one or two? What was the bigger impact for you personally, man?
2.
Oh yeah, two, man, phenomenal game. Dude? How many times did it take for you to beat Sephiroth, man? I
Oh,
gotta know. I gotta know,
oh,
man.
bruh, it took me exactly 32 times.
32. That was it.
32.
Dude, you're good, man. I think I was in the 50s for Sephiroth in number two, and I think I was in the hundreds for the first game when he was in the Coliseum. I think
Oh,
that one was a more challenging one in the first game. What did you think? Which version was more difficult to you?
oh yeah, the Sephiroth in the first one was definitely harder.
Yeah, I mean that as a Final Fantasy fan, I know you're probably a Final Fantasy fan as well.
Oh yes,
Uh,
sir.
yes, to see Sephiroth come back on PS2, one winged angel in the background, as is you against like the most iconic Final Fantasy villain of all time. No Donald, no Goofy, is just one on one, and you're sweating, man. You're shitting bricks because this dude can take your whole fucking life bar in two hits.
Bruh, that's it. You fuck up one time, you're out of there.
You're out there, and it's like I was playing this guy for 20 minutes. Now I have to start all over again, man. They don't make bosses like that anymore, man.
Yeah, man, that one was a good one. Now they didn't changed into like the whole Dark Souls games and whatnot.
Well, I want to kind of keep going with the RPG series here because we know Final
Yeah.
Fantasy is the top dog of Japanese RPGs. The
Facts.
PS2 era still had bona fide classics and other games for the RPG genre, man. We know Final Fantasy X is the top one. What are some of your highlights? What are honorable mentions for PS2 RPGs, man?
I gotta throw in there Dragon Quest. That was a good
All right.
Dark Cloud 2. I don't know if you remember that one, Cole, but like me and Kyle played that one a lot.
Dark Cloud 2?
Yeah, with the little boy running around with the hat, with the wrench. Yep. Nope. See, I remember.
I
Nah, see,
remember Dark Cloud, man. I remember
yeah,
that.
that's
That was
over
a
my
good
head, brother.
series, man.
That's over
Okay.
my head, brother.
Yeah, that was definitely one. Star Ocean and
Till the end of time. Yeah, man.
yes, that was a good one. And then I had to say my last one just because like the greatest like RPG series for me would be besides Final Fantasy, like you said, Breath of Fire.
I knew you was gonna say that, man. Capcom,
Okay.
huh?
Yeah,
Capcom.
Yes.
yeah. Capcom.
Remember when
Dude.
Capcom cared? We
Oh man, bygone era, man. I'm gonna add a little bit to that. Xona Saga, Persona, Valkyrie Profile 2, Baldur's Gate Dark Alliance, Grandi, Wild Arms, and of course, one of the online MMO type games that was big on there, anime wise, who was like the Doc Hack series.
Oh man.
Uh the Dark Hack. So you remember that, Jink?
Oh man, yeah, dog. That, and then what was the one that was rivaling them on Adult Swim? They switched.
hack dot slash.
Yeah.
Remember when Capcom cared? That should be a T-shirt, man. That should be a whole.
Fact.
That
Nah,
should be a
that's
whole movement online, man.
oh my
Mhm.
goodness. That should be a fact, bro. That's a fact. Like, I mean, you touched on this yesterday, man. What they did with Devil May Cry during that era, like that was impressive, man, because that was during that time. Remember, Capcom Resident Evil 4 started out as a GameCube exclusive, which is a big
It
deal.
did.
Resident Evil 4 brought home Game of the Year
Yeah.
as an exclusive title to the Nintendo GameCube. And
And Capcom was like, "We need some freaking sales."
yeah, man. And for the PS2, kind of what held it down was the Devil May Cry series, Onimusha. Them kind of games like that. But yeah, man, like Capcom,
They were reigning champs for a minute. I think that they didn't know how to transition from arcade.
Okay,
Right.
that's fair.
That's a fair assessment. I mean, we got the catalog they had on PS2. We got Okami, Resident Evil 4, Beautiful Joe, Devil May Cry, Onimusha, Shadow of Rome, aka Gladiator the Game, Capcom versus SNK 2,
Mhm.
Maximo, Ghosts of Glory. Like the variety, man, of them delivering different IPs and new ideas and new games to now, I mean, Capcom's a little bit back on it, but they're just milking same shit they've had for years now. But I mean, yeah, the Resident Evil remakes they've done recently, they're very well done, great games. But Capcom does not put out those old. They don't put out new IPs and new ideas and new games as they did back then. And I think that's again, we talked about this previously before you got on, man. How risk is the word
Mhm.
for these new era of games where game developers are taking less and less risks and kind of giving us the same cookie cutter formula for a lot of these games, man. But who knows, man? Maybe Capcom can come back and hell, I'd buy a Capcom collection, PS2 collection for $60 if they would put a lot of these games on one disc, man. I'm down for that.
So this might be a little bit of a loaded question, but I'm gonna throw it out there anyway for y'all, since we're still talking about the PS2. If there was any developer or any studio or any game making company, whatever word you want to put on it, that brought home the title for that system, which one would you say it was? Because there
Oh,
was a lot of
I got mine.
oh,
I got
oh,
mine.
straight like that, huh?
Hey man, it's straight up, bruh. It is straight. You got to give it to Hideo Kojima, man. You know what I'm saying? Come on, man. Metal Gear.
Kojima got it.
Yes.
You giving it to Konami?
Yes. Cause I mean,
Elaborate.
like if I had to play one game over and over on the PlayStation 2,
Yeah,
Metal Gear,
yeah.
baby. Give me the series.
Wait, you said one game though. One, not one series, one game.
Okay, one game. Metal Gear. It would be he got it. They got it.
It's Snake Eater.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, all right, I dig that. Donovan, how you feel about that, bro? If there's one developer that you feel like took home the title for that console, like who would you say kind of pulled it off? Because it's close. There's nobody that just ran away with it, that just took it by landslide. But
Damn, dog. Oh man, for a catalog of games for a game developer, well, there's three. There's three right off the bat. There's three. I'm gonna give it to you straight up, man. Number three, I'm gonna have to say was Capcom. Capcom during that time period, man, delivered a lot of good games and just a plethora of games during that time period. Number two, I'm gonna go SquareSoft with Final Fantasy X and Kingdom Hearts 1 and 2, and then
mhm.
Final Fantasy X 2, and eventually they became Square Enix and got Dragon Quest. And I mean, God, come on, man, you remember the bouncer, bro?
Oh
You remember
shit!
that shit? I
Oh
mean,
shit!
that shit's a bone of dude. I
Oh
don't know how
shit!
that escaped. You see, you talk about these
Oh,
things that just hit you, like,
oh
Yeah, that's
dude,
an
shit.
I played the
honorable
fuck out of
mention.
that game. Honorable
Yeah,
mention, bouncer, Squaresoft doing a freaking a 3D brawler. Are you kidding me? I mean, again, we
yeah.
talk about risk. People, these game developers stick to one genre and they won't take risk anymore. Definitely Squaresoft for number two, and number one, it's got to be Rockstar, man.
Hey, my man,
Oh,
my
oh,
man,
It's
yeah.
my
gotta be
man.
Rockstar, man. I mean, if you look at the sales, if you just look at the catalog of work, you got Grand Theft Auto 3, Vice City, San Andreas, State of Emergency, Manhunt, Red Dead. I mean, come
Max
on, man.
Payne,
Max Payne, exactly, dude. There's too many
Midnight
titles.
Club.
Midnight Club, too many titles, man.
Yeah,
And the numbers, you can't argue the how many units were sold for PlayStation 2 based on Grand Theft Auto. And
that's a
if you look at
fact.
how many games were sold by that one gaming company on this one gaming that is to define Rockstar to this day. I mean,
Yeah.
their
Oh
stocks
man.
their stocks are high because of Vice City and San Andreas at number three. So it's got to be
I couldn't.
Rockstar, man, for that number one spot.
Hey, bro. I couldn't have said that any better, man. Like honestly, I agree with you. I agree with you, bro. Like Rockstar, the reason why they can get away, like side note, another little sidebar. The reason Rockstar Games can get away with still doing updates for Grand Theft Auto 5, even though Grand Theft Auto 5 came out 7 years ago, is because
Right.
of the work that they put in during that console era. You see what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Like
Yes.
For sure.
it's been 7 years since Grand Theft Auto 5 came out. I want to say Grand Theft Auto 3 came out in 2001, and then Vice. And I mean, my timelines might be a little messed up here, but I think Grand Theft Auto 3 dropped in 2001. GTA Vice City dropped either in '03 or '04, and then San Andreas might have dropped in '05, but I could be off there. But right, so think about it this way, dogs. In 3 years, Rockstar Studios dropped three of the greatest games ever made, but in seven, they're still doing updates for a game that came out last console generation, and we let them get away with that.
God damn, man. When you put it like that, I mean, you're right.
Like
You're
for
right,
real.
man.
Yeah, now that y'all both, explaining like that, I'm a diehard Metal Gear fan just because I fell in love with it. But yeah, man, right, I had to say, Rockstar got it because Grand Theft Auto 5 came out in fucking
Hmm.
2013.
Yeah, and
Right, right.
and we still giving them love off of the strength that we know what they're capable of, bro. So I couldn't
Okay,
I couldn't put that any better.
okay, just real quick on that Grand Theft
Yeah.
Auto 5, real quick, just to nerd out real quick. So I remember when that day came out, and like I was in college, and that was like when prime midnight release games were happening. Y'all remember that?
Oh. Uh-huh.
Oh my God,
Like
dude.
everybody,
Yeah.
like everybody's ready. You know what I'm saying? Everybody got their ticket, bro. The next day, campus was so empty. You know what I'm saying? Campus was so empty. Yeah, they definitely had the generation. They're on the PlayStation.
So
And no disrespect to Konami because Konami had some solid titles as well with
oh yeah,
Silent
Silent Hill.
Hill and Silent Hill, Suikoden, Beat Mania, DDR Max, Dance Dance Revolution. So I mean, they had a few. They had some sleeper hits, and they had some hits besides the Metal Gear franchise on that. And I think it's Castlevania. I mean, I think it's a damn shame. I think it's a
Yeah.
damn shame what's happening to Konami, man, because they used to be in it for gaming, and now they're just fucking. They do Metal
Uh
Gear every now and then they're just doing these arcade
Panchico.
Pachinko
Yeah.
machines
Well,
and
remember
a Yu-Gi-Oh game on the freaking handheld every now and
well,
Yeah.
then.
remember when Konami cared?
Right.
Right, right.
Yeah. Yeah. I do think we got one. I think he's got one more good run in him, and I feel like they're gonna let him have it on the next generation.
Well, I mean, we'll see, bro. But I don't it's just crazy, man. What that era did. You know what I'm saying? Like literally, this is the first conversation that the two of y'all are having. But the connection through gaming and the connection through that era of gaming is something that can't be matched. You know what I'm
Oh
saying?
man, man, what? Yeah.
Yeah, man,
It,
that's the power of I mean of gaming in that generation where we're all kind of interconnected by our experiences with these games, man. These unique storytelling, gameplay experiences that are going to be forever embedded for us. I mean, 20, 20, 30, 20, 40, man, we're still going to be, reminiscing about this era of gaming and how they're probably still going to be Metal Gear. It's probably still going to be, what I'm saying, these titles are still around. And that's just a testament to the PS2 probably still going to be the best selling video game console of all time for, what I'm saying? Like, who's
Oh
really going
yeah.
to touch that shit? We mentioned some previous horror titles, but I wanted to know what was some of you guys' most creepiest horror PS2 games for that era? What games come to your mind when you think of the horror genre for that time period?
Ooh.
yeah,
Ooh.
go ahead, Connors.
Silent Hill for sure. You know what I'm saying?
Uh,
Did that one. Fear. And nah, those were pretty much my scary ones. Other than that,
Well,
like what was the one? What was it? Shutter Hill with the camera.
Oh, you're talking
Fatal.
about Fatal Frame. Oh God, dude.
Yeah,
Fatal
that one, and
Frame.
then Resident Evil 2. It was kind of creepy, but wasn't we were used to it by then.
Dog, Fatal Frame 2 gave me freaking nightmares, man. That shit was like playing through the fucking Grudge as a video game. I
Yeah,
mean, yeah, the Japanese have they have this hold on horror, and that game perfectly encapsulated that mastery of the horror genre and put in the video game for. There's some games that I just can't play. I cannot play Fatal Frame, man. I played the
Bro.
demo when they had that shit on the demo disc. They gave you the story about that shit, and I played, dude. That was I didn't get a horror experience since Fatal Frame. Like it took until freaking the PT demo
oh,
on
word?
PS4.
Yeah,
Yes, before I got a similar experience of horror on a video game console, man. Fatal Frame was scary
Oh
as
man,
fuck.
yeah. I
I
played
never
that before you
really.
put it down.
Yeah, I never could. I ain't gonna hold you, bro. I never could. Like horror movies, never really got to me that much. But like, I don't. It's just weird, man. I really don't like in games. Like, bro, I barely like getting attacked by wolves on Red Dead Redemption 2, bro. I barely like that kind of shit. I barely like hunting for the legendary animals in Red Dead 2. Like the mission in Red Dead 2 where you gotta go through the cave and fucking kill the cougar had me wanting to put the controller down. No, 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 you know what I'm saying? Like horror games, I guess the part of it that always like gets to me with the horror games is the element of not knowing when to expect to be ran up on. Like I've always stayed away from the horror games, man. Like you got me on that one. I'll be the first to admit it. I can't fuck with the horror games, bro, at all.
I only cause I tell you I only mess with those horror games cause of our other cousin Kelsey, bro. She put me onto that, man. It got me
Okay.
hooked.
I can't even watch sometimes like on the game playthroughs. I can't even watch the game playthroughs because it just seems so surreal, especially when you're playing it. It's like that element of surprise that this is not in your control. You don't know who's gonna run up on you. You don't know what the hell you're gonna see. It's one of those game genres where you don't in control at all over anything, and that's purposely and intentionally done. I remember it was a Clock Tower 3, The Suffering by Midway, Resident Evil, Code Veronica, and Outbreak, Silent Hill 2, 3, and 4, Silent Hill Origins. I mean, the PS2 had definitely some bangers when it came to the horror genre, man. And one last question for me on my PS2 coverage is would be games conquered the video game landscape in this PS2 era. For you guys, what was the runner up for the Grand Theft Auto style sandbox games?
Oh, that's
Here we go. This one's going to be interesting here.
that
Yeah,
one is rough, bro. I go ahead, cuz you got it, man.
yeah. I gotta think, dog. I don't.
Okay, so I got it. So you're saying, and this isn't like disrespectful, but you're saying like which non-Rockstar game was the best GTA clone?
Yeah, or we can even say still rock. We can keep it Rockstar still as well. What
Well,
game out there in the genre was close to GTA in quality or somewhat
uh,
there? If you couldn't buy Grand Theft Auto, but you wanted a Grand Theft Auto experience, what game would you buy for the
okay,
PS2?
this might be cheating a little bit because it was based on great material, but I'm gonna say the open world Godfather that EA Games ported to PS2, Xbox, and later on 360 and PS3. I'm gonna say the Godfather.
Oh, The
That was
Godfather, huh?
yeah, the Godfather was actually. I mean, yes, it was based on a movie, and it had that leg up because again, remember when EA cared? Yeah,
Slogan of the
they
year right there, man.
yeah, bro. But they had that built-in cachet to be able to get Marlon Brando right before he died, voicing Vito Corleone. They were able to get Robert Duvall to do his voice for that game. They were able to get the likenesses to some of the characters who were in the actual movie to recreate scenes from that movie and actually put you into that world of one of the greatest movies ever made. And the gameplay wasn't so far off to where it wasn't trash. It was serviceable enough gameplay to back up playing a game based on The Godfather. And it was kind of hard too. Like toward the end of that game, some of the missions that you got to do really kind of ramp it up a little bit. But that would be my runner up to Grand Theft Auto.
What you got, Majin?
I do remember playing The Godfather. I think like The Godfather, I think it had good hand-to-hand combat from what I like. The other runner-up, man, I had to say was like really would be like it was like a straight ripoff, but like True Crimes.
Oh shit!
Yes, I was hoping someone was gonna mention that.
Damn, I forgot about True Crime, man.
That would be my other one.
Which one?
New York or LA?
New York.
Yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
Word, man. Good shit on it. I was hoping one of you guys was like, oh, I'm not sure they can remember that one.
I forgot about True Crime, bro. Damn, man.
Yeah, True Crime is pretty dope.
Dude, okay, here's mine. If I were to pick one game, you mentioned True Crime. That's a really good copy, man. I would mention Scarface, The World Is Yours, man.
Yeah, that was solid, man.
That was solid.
Oh shit, I forgot about that.
Yeah, man. That provided that, dude, the age of licensing, right? That provided, that Vice City. I mean, it's so weird how the game based on the movie came out first, and then the movie came with the video game that copied the game that was based on. Never mind.
I'm the dude. I'm the dude that's playing the dude. What Robert Downey Jr. say, bro? I'm the dude that's playing the dude that's playing the other dude. Yeah, man. That's exactly what it was, bro. Like man, like you worded that perfectly. It really took Grand Theft Auto Vice City being a derivative of Scarface for a game developer to really decide that they needed to license the rights to Scarface to copy the game that was a derivative of the movie that the game is based on.
Dude, you couldn't say that any better, man.
Oh, you said it better, bro. Like,
man,
that was a weird time, man.
It was, man. It was, and I got a few more. You mentioned previously State of Emergency.
Uh-huh.
And what else we got? Was it 25 to Life?
Yeah, 25 to Life was ratchet, man.
Ratchet.
That game was controversial.
Yeah. And I'm gonna say one more game here that I think perfectly encapsulated this PS2 era, and I think y'all know what it might be. I'm gonna go with 50 Cent's Bulletproof on the PS2. G-Unit.
Oh shit.
Yo, and it's fucked up because we all had that game, didn't we?
Listen,
all
man,
had that shit, bro.
Look, man, 50 Cent is a legend. Like in 1 year, 50 Cent sold 10 million records, put out a video game, a tennis shoe, and a clothing line in 1 year.
And we damn near had every single thing he fucking produced during that time period.
Oh man, listen, man, and 50 Cent Bulletproof, like, I'm not even ready to say that was a bad game or that it was a good game. I'm not even ready to do that.
Because like it
happened.
It was mild, bro. It wasn't bad, but it was like, I'm okay with this.
Because it happened, right?
It was like, you know what? It's not the best, but I'm entertained, and I'm,
right. And like,
Tony Ayo, fuck it.
50, you know what I'm saying? Like, Everybody was in there.
because it happened. Because it's one of them things that you gotta appreciate just because it happened. Like 50 Cent was really able to license 2 video games that came out, bro.
Yeah.
That I don't think that's gonna happen again, man. I don't know that there's rappers that care enough about branding and marketing to really put out a video game. This man put out a whole video game, bro. Yes, 50 Cent Bulletproof, man. Whoa.
Yeah, bro. It had a story in
Throwback
every
right there,
fucking
man.
thing.
Yeah. Like not bro. Dr. Dre and Eminem actually provided voice work for them games, man.
I
Oh, no.
no joke. It was a big fucking deal, dude. Sign of the times, man. Sign of the
Oh
times,
man,
bruh. 50
Yeah,
Cent
bro.
took over the world, bruh.
real
Oh
quick, dog, real
shit.
quick. Because
Yeah, yeah.
everybody, like you said, everybody had the game, and it's just like really, what bad parts of that game can you really be like? I mean, he did it. It's like it's okay.
Yeah. I really I mean I nothing a lot of what was good or bad about that game doesn't come to mind. I remember the finishing moves. You know what I'm saying?
Had a
I remember the
variety.
yeah, bro, the transition, the cover gameplay, the voice
The
acting work.
soundtrack.
Yeah, man. Yeah, I remember all of that shit, bro. That happened. That was something that happened, man. And that's an era again, man. That's an era of gaming that I sincerely will miss. I just remember the days like my brother wouldn't even turn it off. My brother kept his even though that's something you never should have done. Like before going to when my brother would go to sleep at night, he wouldn't even turn the fucking console off, bro. Just so that he could wake back up the next day and get right back into doing what he was doing.
For those who didn't have memory cards, you were fucked.
Yep.
You could not turn that shit off, yo.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah. Rest in peace to the memory cards too, man.
Oh yeah, man, they were fun. They were fun. A little icon of what you
Yeah.
saved. Have little. I don't know, man. Bells and
I,
whistles of that shit,
I was
dude.
about to say that too, man. The level of detail. Like I didn't even
yeah.
my bad, cuz I hear you in the back. I hear you. But the thing that I didn't even notice until later on YouTube that when you opened up the game, like if you had your memory card in the console, the towers, the gray towers on the opening screen were meant to represent your save files on the game on your memory card. Did y'all know that?
No,
Yeah.
man.
I think I
Wow.
know. I think I know what you're talking. You're talking like in the beginning.
Yes.
Yeah, that shit
Yes.
was weird. I was like, why is it going up and down and change? Damn.
Yes. Those were meant to represent your save file. So if you didn't have a memory card plugged in, when the screen that said like Sony Interactive Entertainment would just be a solid black background. But if your memory card was in and you had save files, there would be like gray towers in the background instead of the black background. Like that's what I'm talking about right there. That level of detail, bro. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? We're not gonna get that no more.
Yeah, go ahead, Majin. I know you've been trying to cook up, man. What you got, man?
Yeah.
With the memory cards like that like leaving the game on. I definitely remember like staying up and being like, all right, I got to get to this certain point because if I don't get to this certain point, I'm not gonna want to play this game anymore because I don't have a memory card. Like it, people don't understand like the transition, the bonding we actually had to do with our game. Like now we get games that are like Dark Souls where if you die, you got to start back over, which is essentially a hard game. But like we were bred for that. Like, bro, you didn't say your game? Nope. You got to remember every fucking thing you get without a guidebook.
Uh-huh.
Without a guidebook.
Yep.
So I
Facts.
think like without that information, like if we weren't in such that heavy information era, that would bring back more of that mystique because even then people were like, hey yo, I found some shit you didn't find, but like, yeah, because I was just trying to beat the game, but show me what you found.
Bro.
Right, man. It was a personal touch of talking to people and finding out secrets and finding out codes. Or like, yo, why? What do you mean you couldn't beat them? All you gotta do is X Y Z X Y Z. Oh shit, how'd you learn that? I read it in PlayStation magazine. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Right.
yeah, man.
If there's one word that y'all could describe or used to describe that era, the PS2 era, what word would you come to mind with?
I had to say bold. You know what I'm saying? Bold.
Mm, okay.
That's a good choice, man. That's a good choice because it was bold. It was bold in the creativity of those games that came out because you had games like Katamari and Ico and Beyond Good and Evil and Mr. Mosquito and Rez and Mark Echo's Getting Up. I mean, you had bold creative choices with these games where you will no longer get full disc physical release games like these anymore. These are going to go straight to the PlayStation Store, the Nintendo Store, Xbox Live. So it was bold of these creative choices to make these games, and there was an actual market and an actual amount of people who would throw their dollars to get something different that wasn't a shooter, that wasn't an online multiplayer, that wasn't just the latest and greatest, biggest blockbuster. You had people who would put up their money to get something unique and get something different. And I don't think that yeah, so that era will never come back again. And it was bold. It definitely was a bold era in terms
Mm,
of and what was accomplished.
Yeah.
Uh,
okay.
for me, it's fun. There's one word. It's fun, man. Just the countless hours playing these titles and you were so consumed by some of these things like the 50 Cent Bulletproof to Final. I mean, the jump to go from Final Fantasy X to playing something like 50 Cent's Bulletproof. It's like
Yeah, man.
the broad range of everything, man. It was just a lot of fun for a lot of these titles, man.
Yeah, dog. For me, bro, I'm gonna say timeless, man. Timeless, because I will never. Ah, man, yeah, timeless. There are moments connected to gaming and connected to the PlayStation 2 that I'm never gonna forget. That are always gonna stick with me. Like I remember the first time I seen my homeboy James being over at his house watching him play God of War. I had
Mm.
never known up until that point, watching him play that game, I knew that, like I told you this last night, like I thought when I seen Kratos with the gray skin and the paint on his face, I was like, damn, they made a game about Quan Chi from Mortal Kombat. Like he got his own, he got his own solo game. I had no idea. Facts. I had no idea that this was a game about revenge or a game that dug into Greek mythology until I was at my boy's house and I seen him playing it. And from the moment I seen him turn that game on to that first boss fight at the opening of the game, and then the cut scene where Kratos jumps off of the cliff, and then seeing him pull the threesome on his boat, like you know what I'm saying, and just
Yeah.
seeing that, I didn't know that that those types of games were still even being made at that time. Like I didn't know that this was an experience that you could still have, and that's even with having already played games like Grand Theft Auto, like Metal Gear Solid. The fact that there were still games out there that could give me that level of surprise and be that much different from what I was already used to is what makes that console timeless, bro. You know what I'm
Damn,
saying?
man. Said it
I,
said it perfectly, dude.
I agree. Okay, so I had to say great summaries. So my
hmm
I got a quick question for y'all before we transition over to the next
hmm
generation. If you had to show or
Ooh.
present a game to the next generation, you know what I'm saying, from the PlayStation 2, one game,
Damn.
what would it be?
Damn, one game to transfer to the next generation.
One game.
Yeah.
It's like here. All right. So like I've been pondering this question since I got on here. And
hmm
I've been thinking the only thing that I could really probably hand over to like the next generation of like pure PlayStation. We were talking about even like all the game creators, all those studios. But I would have to say, I still would probably like right now hand over at the end of PlayStation 2 would hand over the God of War. Even though I love, what I'm saying, Metal Gear Solid and Final Fantasy, Kingdom Hearts, like all of that was like pretty much everything I watched on television. But if you really think about like God of War, like they made their own story, and it is pretty much like their studios is pretty much owned by Sony, even though they're their own thing, but pretty much, you know what I mean?
That was a perfect game.
Yeah, so that would be mine.
Man, what you got, D? Oh man.
Wait, so you're asking for one game from the PlayStation 2 to get the next generation treatment, PS5 treatment, sequel game.
No. That you would give to the next generation. Like if you had to like summarize to the younger generation, like, hey, you never knew about PlayStation 2, you should play this game.
Oh shit.
Like you're putting one game in a time capsule next to that console.
Yep.
You know what? I'm gonna have to. Damn, for those years, if I was gonna put one game, I would probably put you know what? I'm gonna go Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 3, man.
Oh,
I'm gonna go Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 3, bro, for that shit.
Okay, I can rock with that.
For the culture, for the gameplay, for the time capsule of what it was and what it resonated with a whole bunch of people, with the generational players and fans, and how people got into skateboarding because of that game. I think if you were to perfectly encapsulate the early 2000s, that's one of the games you would highlight for sure.
Oh shit. Damn, man. Oh man.
So it's a good question, man. This is it's hot in here. Shit.
Yeah, bro. That's a fastball right over the plate, man. And okay, just one game to say this was the PlayStation 2.
Mm-hmm.
Man. I'm gonna say yeah, this is what I'm gonna say right here, man. I'm gonna say all you had to do, CJ, is follow the damn train.
Yeah.
All you had to do, CJ, is follow the damn train, man. Grand Theft Auto San Andreas is the game that I would say I would put in that time capsule. Even though Metal Gear Solid 3 is my favorite game that I've played, Grand Theft Auto San Andreas incorporated, to me, everything. Not only that, but it was a game that was set in the 1990s. That's you know what I'm saying? The soundtrack, the style of clothing, the dialogue, on top of the gameplay, and just the fact that like that game did a lot of things for the genre. Fuck it, I'm getting too long-winded. Grand Theft Auto San Andreas is what I will put in that time capsule. And I'm tempted to change my mind, but I already answered the question.
Nah, that's a good answer, man. That's a hella good answer, dude.
Like, I really feel like you could make a movie. You could make a movie about that console. You could make a movie about what that did, bro. Gaming became big business because of the business that they did with that hardware. And it wasn't that they were trying to do that. They were trying to make a damn good gaming console. And as a result of it, it birthed big business gaming, what we know now. For better or worse, that's what it did. That's my last thought on it.
I agree. I mean, y'all answered my question. I had to say like those three games would definitely sum up the whole genre. That would pretty much encompass like anybody who played the PlayStation 2 probably played at least one of those three games. And then the last thing I had to say about the PlayStation 2 would just be like, man, that it was just it was iconic, and I will
Oh.
forever, ever be a PlayStation fan because of it.
In the comment section, let us know like the impact you felt with the PS2, some of your games, maybe something that we missed here. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Majin M. Shout out to Homeboy Talk. And we on to the next one.
Peace out, y'all.
The renegade sage, about to unleash hate. Number 8, yes, you know I'm about to break it down the hell's gate. See it swell, yo bitch filling up my pail. Got a new bitch, call it jail. It's alright, I'm in the cell. Now I'm getting out, my niggas spouting.